I'll be like me in 2019 and sign the lease on some fancy apartment. Go and figure out how to buy a house and make those guys pay you money. Do you think I'm going to hate my life in 2 months if I buy this and move 4 of my best friends in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Next question.
Welcome back to another episode of the Roots Podcast. I'm Max Moore, joined by my co-host Tyler Lingle. And today it's a boys only. We're going to talk about house hacking, kind of like house hacking 101 in a sense. And it's not going to be about how to buy a deal. It's not going to be about what type of loan to use. So wake up. We're talking about what type of tenant you should have in your house hack. So Tyler, I'm 21, thinking about jumping into the real estate game. Got this single family identified. It's got 5 bedrooms. Do you think I'm going to hate my life in 2 months if I buy this and move 4 of my best friends in?
Number one, I think we should call these mini-sodes.
Mini-sodes.
Because that's what.
Welcome back to another
mini-sode. We just
mini-sode.
need your attention for like 4 or 5 minutes to hit on a topic that we get asked all the time. But I digress. So would I hate my life? Yes.
Yeah.
Next question.
Right.
No. In all honesty, I think the sweet spot there is probably a 3-bedroom, 2-roommate situation.
Yeah.
Where you're covering in this market at least half of your PITI payment is a huge win. So a $300,000 house, you get a comfortable $300,000 house in Broad Ripple, Brownsburg,
Right.
wherever, and 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and that PITI is going to be $2,500, and so you get 2 roommates there for $750.
Well, I think it's the way to break in, right?
Boom.
To do that.
That was really aggressive.
I think it's the way to break in to do that. The 2-3 bedroom, 4 to 5 seems aggressive, which is where people like naturally go. Because
You got to be, I think, a social creature to really, or like a basement
right.
that has maybe a separate entry, a property that really makes sense there with the right space.
So what does that look like? Who does laundry when? Who cooks? What does that actually look like in reality?
Have you met someone
this.
that's house hacked with 4 roommates, 5 roommates?
No,
I
but
haven't.
Like back it up to 2 to 3 beds.
Yeah.
To have 2 roommates with you. What does that actually look like? Like how does that life imbalance work?
Yeah, there's 2, I think, main ways you can go about this. One is the sphere network, which is college buddies, church friends, work people, right? People in your sphere that know, like, and trust you, that you know their morality, you know they're sane, you know, normal people. You'll always find out something new. You'll find out who likes to leave the crusty toothpaste on the sink, right? Really quick. But regardless, you're young, you're flexible. So I think there's the sphere route, and it's still wise to put a lease on that, I think.
Right.
But then there's that's the, dude, yeah, I think that's just having the conversation, and it can be awkward. You know, you talk about the
So
laundry.
I am putting people on a lease. Like
I think you always put them on lease for your own safety. You never know. I mean, maybe if it's your own brother, maybe not. But even then, I think for good practice for future too.
Yeah.
Dude, ChatGPT, I'm not giving legal advice telling you to write your leases with ChatGPT, but for this scenario, I am. Because a roommate, like ChatGPT can write you up a 1-pager, 2-pager agreement. Just here's the rent. Utilities. You need to talk about that. Wi-Fi. Hey, I wouldn't put out of the question to have a stipend towards maintenance even.
Right.
If you have the conversation and say, hey, maybe you just increase it to a flat rate, but you say, this is all that's included in that flat rate, and it's $1,000.
So we're talking about clarity. It's not that the bill comes in and it's like, hey, dude, we ran up the electric. You left it all on in the garage. Real life story for Tyler. Ran up the heat in the garage at your house hack, right? And dude, I need more money.
We didn't talk about utilities.
No.
I didn't even think about it.
Because you get to that point and you only learn when you stub your toe. So you should absolutely figure out what the average is and probably could make some margin on it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't think it... Well, you're the one managing it. You're the one taking the risk. But we didn't talk about the second route, which I think is really important to hit on.
Right.
Which is if you're going with someone you don't know, here's what I'm going to advise. I want to know your thoughts on this. I think you furnish that. You get some IKEA furniture, some Wayfair furniture. You put some swag at equity in. I think you would throw that thing on Furnish Finder for $1,000, $800, $1,200, whatever it is in your market. You'll get more out of it, and it's going to be a travel nurse. They're going to mind their own business, and they'll eat those rentals up all day.
So I'm living in like the master bedroom, and maybe we look for one where you do have that basement for the flexibility. If it's that,
Even
it's like
better.
if you truthfully just moved into the market, the employee that we just hired, shout out to Trace. Hopefully he shows up and actually works, but offer letters out. Trace is moving into our marketplace. He should live in a basement and rent out to a travel nurse on the top floor. I think absolutely that would be a huge move.
Yeah. And he probably would actually take one of those rentals right now, ironically, because they're very flexible. You can get shorter lease terms. More people are open to like a 6-month, 3-month lease.
Right.
So they're very attractive to, just to hit on something that could be a long diatribe, but I'm going to keep it short, which is the remote work, mobile gig worker type of character is going exponential in our economy. Like there's more people than ever that want flexibility with those rentals, and the furnishing is really important to them. They don't want to be pinned down forever. They don't want even the year-long lease. So like the 3-month leasing cycle is becoming like a new normal for a large segment of the population. And there's more people than ever willing to split a house with people. So I am hearing almost unanimous success from people renting out bedrooms doing this, because there's a large amount of young people that are delaying getting married and having kids, that are gig work, travel nurse, etc. Right? Or they just simply are too lazy to go buy a house and settle down, or not too lazy, they just don't want to do it, I guess. So that's something you can, I think, market to a lot right now with these single family house hacks.
And I think that is the challenge, because people go to look for duplexes, and candidly, you want to go out to one of the donut counties and get a duplex. Good luck, buddy. It's hard. And if you're going to do it, you're going to pay over $300.
Right. How many people talk to you saying, I want a house like my duplex? And then they don't. They buy a single family.
They don't, because guess what happens? I take them to freaking Tuxedo Park and they look at what 200 gets.
They don't even get out of the car.
Right. And we have the phone call and we go, hey, I think you actually should go buy in this pocket in Sobro and rent out a bedroom. And that's what they end up doing, because it is the feasibility. And then they upgrade to the second, which is the duplex. I think you go single family with a couple roommates, maybe furnish, do some creative stuff there, and then upgrade to the new construction.
So let me hit on this. What do you say to someone that's like, great, Max, I want a house like, but sharing my common area, my kitchen with someone random, I don't want to do it.
Right.
What is the response there?
Someone,
what is the thought there?
It's the someone random part. And I would go, yeah, I agree with you. Unfortunately, I do.
Yeah.
And I would say, who in your network needs to rent a bedroom? And then I would ponder on that question until I find who in my network needs it. And if I don't have somebody in my network that needs it, I probably need to take a step back and build a network. So that's my advice.
That's deep. So recapping, we've talked about house hacking. It may be hard to find a duplex in the area you want in most cities, not just Indianapolis.
Right.
Single family route.
Single family
Put them on a lease. Talk about utilities and set all this. Have foresight with these things. Set it up properly. Look into furnished rentals, furnished finder, and what else am I missing in this summary?
I think that's it. I think you need to have friends and family that are willing to come live with you. And
sphere, yeah. Have a sphere. We're now in the rental. You're now in the rental providing business if you're house hacking. Like you have a job. You're providing a service, product to people. So you need to start saying, hey, I have a rental coming up. Who do you know? Do those well connected in your sphere? I would be posting it on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. I can almost guarantee you do that alone, you will get leads from your mutual friends.
Yeah, absolutely you will. And you'll find the people. And if the last thing to wrap that up, if you're the guy that has 3 roommates or 2 roommates that you're going to look for an apartment, don't be like me in 2019 and sign the lease on some fancy apartment. Go and figure out how to buy a house and make those guys pay you money. Yeah, that's what I should have done. I would have launched off even bigger. I would have doubled my portfolio by now.
3.5% FHA loan is not that much. Do the math. Contact Roots agent, rootsrealty.co. Maybe not ready. Get on our newsletter.
Right.
Come to our event.
Absolutely.
Meet who these people are and get into a relationship before you maybe go and put offers in and get pre-approved.
Right.
That's okay. That's how it should be done, right?
Absolutely.
So
I echo that. Well, this has been another mini episode of the Roots podcast. Like and subscribe.